Good morning everyone. So today we are going to discuss about how we can meet the objective of network lifetime elongation by balancing the energy reduction in non-clustered environment. And to achieve this objective, we have proposed a method which is named as greedy load balancing energy efficient routing scheme for wireless sensor networks, which we have named as the GLBRs. So in the progressive slides we will see that how we have applied the greedy approach to balance the load among the sensor nodes, and that's how we achieved the energy efficient routing, and hence we have elongated the network lifetime. So let us start with the block diagram of this particular proposed method. So this figure is basically representing the workflow diagram of the proposed GLBRs method. Initially what happens is that the network operator deploys the random nodes in a random fashion, deploys the sensor node in a random fashion into the network and environment which basically we have to sense. And once the sensor nodes are deployed, then sync node broadcasts a request message into the environment. This request message is having two attributes, that is sender ID and the hop count. So initially when the sync will broadcast this request message, so the sender ID will be like 0 for the sync node, and hop count of the sync node is considered as 0. And as we move away from the from the sync node towards the other nodes which are in direct communication range of sync node, they will have the hop count 1, and after that this request message will be further broadcasted into to cover the whole network area. So once all the nodes receive this request message into the environment, then all the nodes will form a neighbor list, and this neighbor list is denoted as NI, and neighbor list basically defines as like here in this figure we can see that corresponding to the kth sensor node, the neighbor list of kth sensor node will be containing the nodes Q, R and M. So we can see that the neighbor list can include the nodes which are having one less hop count or one greater than hop count, one greater than hop count of this particular kth node. So that's how the neighbor list is formed, and once the neighbor list is formed, then out of this neighbor list a candidate list is formed, and to form the candidate list we use this particular equation. So what this equation says that the census, this basically S hat H minus 1 is denoting the sensor nodes, set of the sensor nodes which lies at hop count H minus 1, and Ni is the neighbor list. So the intersection of this particular thing, that is Sh minus 1 and Ni, will give the particular candidate list. Fine. So corresponding here in this example we can see that corresponding to the kth node, its candidate list will include that Q and R node. It will not include the mth node because it is not it is not lying into the Sh minus 1. So that's how the candidate list are formed, and once the candidate list are formed, then the parent list is formed, and we will see in the progressive slides that how this parent list is formed. That is SP set, single parent set and multiple parent set are formed using candidate list. Fine. And once the parent list are formed, then the tentative loads, incoming load on each particular node is calculated, and once the load is calculated, then the parent nodes are selected using the proposed greedy approach method, greedy approach algorithm, which we will discuss in the next slide. And once the parent nodes are selected, then this particular equation is maintained while selecting the parent nodes. Finally, that is Pij is equals to 1 if Si selects Sj as its next node, otherwise 0, and the summation of Pij over j will be equals to 1 where Si belongs to Sh and Sj belongs to candidate list of that particular ith node. Fine. So that's how all the parent nodes are selected, and once the parent nodes are selected, then the sensing of the data from the environment and the communication towards the base station will take place, and that's how the whole this particular proposed algorithm is working. Now we will see that how this particular step 5 is performed, that is how these parent lists are formed using the candidate list, and after that we will see that how we have selected the parent node using the greedy approach. So on the basis of this particular candidate list, that is parent list, if the parent list is if the cardinality of the parent list is equals to 1, then it will lie into that particular node will lie into the single parent list, otherwise it will lie into the multiple parent list. So here in this figure we can see that single parent list, here ith and the pth node will lie into the single parent list because they are having only single parent, and the rth node, this particular rth node and the jth node are having multiple parents, so they will lie into the MP set. Fine. And now we will see that once the parent list is formed, then how this greedy approach is working. So initially firstly the maximum hop count corresponding to each maximum hop count is calculated corresponding to all the sensor nodes in the environment, and this S hat is representing the set of sensor nodes in the environment, and corresponding to all the sensor nodes in the environment, the load value is initialized corresponding to each node, and each node will be having the initial load value as 1, and once after that this particular we will start the balancing of the load on the sensor nodes we have done in a way that we will start from the maximum hop count and we will move towards the sync node. Fine. And this basically this 2 value is showing that hop count value 2, and we will see that why we have taken this particular 2 value instead of 1. So here we will see that here we can see that we have formed the single parent list and the multiple parent list using the candidate list. Fine. Now the greedy approach that we have used is, firstly what we will do that the nodes which will lie into the single parent list, firstly we will assign the parent node corresponding to those particular node. So Pij is equals to 1 where Sj belongs to CLI. So this particular Sj node will having only single parent node, so in its candidate list. So Pij is equals to 1 and LDJ, that is load value of jth sensor node, will be equals to the load value of j plus load value of ith node, that is from the child node it is receiving the data towards itself. Fine. And the next next situation where we have applied the greedy approaches, firstly the node which lie into the multiple parent set, we will sort them in the non-increasing order on the basis of current load. Fine. And for each node which lies into the MP set, firstly we will select them in a particular sequence, that is the we have sorted them in the non-increasing order, that is decreasing, and so the node which is having maximum load that will be assigned as the node which is having maximum load, we will select the parent node corresponding to that particular node first, and that's how this particular here we can see that the node which is having this particular ith node is having maximum load, so we will assign the parent node corresponding to this particular node. And how we are assigning this, that among the parent node of this particular ith node, the node which is having minimum load value, we will assign the parent node as a parent node for the ith node. So it will return the argument value, and Pij, that's how the Pij is set as 1, and this is same as I have discussed here in this step 4b. And after that, like all the nodes have selected their parent nodes, and Pij got 1 corresponding to them. So at the end, like here we are showing that why we have taken this particular step 4 is performed up to hop count 2. So after that, like the nodes which lie at the hop count 1, they will send, because they will send their data towards the sync node in a direct manner. So now what we will do, that correspond, and they will have the sync node as its direct parent node. So Pi0, because 0 is the ID of the sync node, Pi0 is equals to 1, and that's how the whole algorithm is working. And after that, we have calculated the complexity of this particular algorithm, and we have found that the total complexity of this algorithm is found to be order of maximum in the worst case, its complexity will be order of n square. And once all the nodes will select their parent node, then the final load calculation algorithm is will work, and in this we will see that how load value is calculated corresponding to all the nodes. And here we can see that initial assumptions we have taken is sensor node at hop count h plus 1, that is maximum hop count plus 1, there will be no sensor node at that particular in this particular set, so it is 5. And the node at hop count 0, set of sensor node at hop count 0, because the hop count we have assumed that at hop count 0 only the sync node is there, so S0 only will be there. And Pij is equals to 0 for the node Si if the Si belongs to Sh plus 1. Fine. And here firstly we will calculate the maximum hop count, and corresponding to all the nodes we will assign the load value as 0, and that's how the total load is calculated corresponding to each node. LDG is equals to 1. Here 1 is showing that 1 is the load of a particular sensor node itself, kind of itself load, and this is the load value corresponding to which it is receiving from the child node. So Pij into LDI, Pij value will be either 1 and 0, as we have seen in the while we are discussing the block diagram. So where we have seen that Pij will be either equals to 1 or 0, and this particular Si belongs to S and Sj belongs to Sh, and that's how the loads are calculated. And these are the simulation parameters that we have considered to conduct the simulation experiments. And these are the simulation results, where firstly we have taken the graph of packet delivery ratio with respect to sensing time, and where we can see that corresponding to the proposed approach, that is GLBers, this is the this dark green line is showing the performance of the proposed approach, and it is showing that corresponding to the proposed approach, the packet delivery ratio is much more as compared to the rest of the approaches that we have considered, that is random LBS, in which the sensor nodes are selected in a random manner, min load LBS, and the maximum energy LBS. And this is the graph, on the right hand side, this is the graph with respect to number of dead nodes with respect to the sensing time, which we have measured in terms of rounds. And here we can see that number of dead nodes are less as compared to the rest of the scheme in case of proposed approach. And if we consider the network lifetime as the 50% packet delivery ratio, then we can conclude that corresponding to the proposed approach, here we can see that this 50% packet delivery ratio, corresponding to the 50% packet delivery ratio, the proposed approach is outperforming as compared to the rest of the approaches. And in case of first node, if we consider the first node death, when the first node dies into the network, so the proposed approach delays the first node death as compared to the rest of the approaches. And to conduct to see that whether these approaches are having some difference in reality or not, then to find out this particular thing, that whether there is a difference between these particular schemes, we have conducted the statistical analysis, and we have found that firstly we have considered all the schemes, and where we have found that the F calculated value is corresponding to first node death, and the network lifetime is found to be this, and while the F critical value was 2.4, so we can see that the F calculated value is much more than the critical value. So we can say that there is a difference between the schemes, and after that, to confirm this difference is coming out due to which scheme, we have conducted the pairwise F test by considering two schemes at a time, and we have found that corresponding to the first node death and the network lifetime, the F calculated value is much more corresponding to the proposed approach as compared to the rest of the approaches. And while the F critical value was 3.18, so here also we can conclude that the difference that we have observed when we have considered all the schemes, that at that time the difference was coming due to the proposed approach. And that's how we can see that there is a difference between the scheme, and the difference is coming out due to the proposed approach. So that's how we have confirmed that the proposed approach is outperforming than the others. Thank you.